Absolution, released in 1978, is one of those quietly unsettling films that slowly draws you into its psychological web without relying on loud theatrics or obvious suspense. Directed by Anthony Page, the film carries a deeply introspective tone, blending moral conflict, religious undertones, and psychological tension into a story that lingers in the mind long after the credits roll. It is not a film that rushes to impress. Instead, it carefully builds an atmosphere that feels both intimate and disturbing, making it a fascinating watch for those who appreciate character-driven narratives. Anthony Page, primarily known for his work in television before stepping into feature films, brings a very controlled and deliberate style to Absolution. His direction is precise, almost restrained, allowing the tension to grow organically rather than forcing it upon the audience. The film feels theatrical in its presentation, likely influenced by Page's background, but this works in its favor because it keeps the focus tightly on the characters and their emotional journeys. Every scene feels purposeful, every silence meaningful, and every interaction layered with subtext. At the center of the film is Richard Burton, delivering a powerful and nuanced performance as Father Goddard, a strict and somewhat enigmatic Catholic priest who teaches at a boys' boarding school. Burton's presence alone gives the film a certain gravitas. His voice, deep and commanding, adds authority to the character, while his subtle expressions reveal the internal conflict simmering beneath the surface. He does not overplay the role, instead, he embodies it with a quiet intensity that makes Father Goddard both compelling and unsettling. The supporting cast complements Burton exceptionally well. Dominic Guard plays Benjamin Stanfield, one of the students, and his performance is crucial to the film's emotional core. Guard brings a mix of innocence and cunning to the role, making Benjamin a character who is difficult to fully trust or understand. This ambiguity adds to the film's tension, as the audience is never entirely sure where his motivations lie. Billy Connolly, in one of his earlier film roles, appears as Blakey, a mysterious and somewhat unpredictable figure whose presence adds an extra layer of intrigue to the narrative. Connolly's performance is understated but effective, contributing to the film's uneasy atmosphere. The story unfolds in a Catholic boarding school, a setting that naturally lends itself to themes of authority, discipline, and moral conflict. Without giving away any spoilers, the film revolves around a confession made by a student to Father Goddard. This confession sets off a chain of events that challenge the priest's beliefs, his sense of duty, and his understanding of morality. The narrative explores the idea of confession not just as a religious act, but as a psychological burden, raising questions about truth, guilt, and responsibility. One of the most compelling aspects of Absolution is its non-spoiler narrative structure, which gradually reveals its themes without relying on dramatic twists. Instead of shocking the audience with sudden revelations, the film allows the tension to build slowly, creating a sense of unease that grows with each passing scene. The pacing may feel deliberate, even slow at times, but this is intentional. It gives the audience time to absorb the characters' emotions and the weight of their decisions. The cinematography plays a significant role in establishing the film's mood. The boarding school is depicted as both a place of order and a space of isolation. The corridors feel long and empty, the classrooms rigid and controlled, and the overall atmosphere is one of quiet tension. The use of lighting is particularly effective, with shadows often dominating the frame, symbolizing the moral ambiguity that defines the story. The visual style is not flashy, but it is deeply effective in reinforcing the film's themes. Another important element is the film's exploration of power dynamics. Father Goddard, as a priest and teacher, holds a position of authority over his students. However, as the story progresses, this dynamic becomes increasingly complex. The film subtly examines how power can shift and how authority can be challenged in unexpected ways. This adds a layer of psychological depth that elevates the film beyond a simple drama. The screenplay, written by Anthony Schaefer, is sharp and thoughtful. Schaefer, known for his ability to craft intricate and engaging narratives, brings a sense of intellectual depth to the film. The dialogue is carefully constructed, often carrying multiple meanings beneath the surface. Conversations between characters are not just exchanges of words, they are battles of wit, belief, and intention. This makes the film particularly engaging for viewers who enjoy analyzing character interactions and underlying themes. Richard Burton's performance deserves special attention because it anchors the entire film. He portrays Father Goddard as a man of strong convictions, but also as someone who is not immune to doubt and inner conflict. Burton's ability to convey these complexities through subtle gestures and expressions is remarkable. He makes the character feel real, flawed, and deeply human. This authenticity is what makes the film's emotional impact so strong. Dominic Gard's portrayal of Benjamin is equally noteworthy. He manages to capture the duality of youth innocence on the surface, but with hidden depths that can be both intriguing and unsettling. His interactions with Burton are some of the most compelling moments in the film, as they highlight the tension between authority and rebellion, belief and doubt. Billy Connolly's role, though smaller, adds an important dimension to the story. His character introduces an element of unpredictability, and Connolly's natural charisma makes even his brief appearances memorable. It is interesting to see him in a role that differs from his later, more comedic work, showcasing his versatility as an actor. The film's sound design and score are minimalistic, which works to its advantage. Instead of relying on music to create tension, the film often uses silence, allowing the audience to focus on the characters and their emotions. When music is used, it is subtle and effective, enhancing the mood without overwhelming the narrative. One of the film's strongest qualities is its ability to provoke thought. It does not provide easy answers or clear resolutions. Instead, it leaves the audience with questions about morality, responsibility, and the nature of truth. This open-ended approach may not appeal to everyone, but it is precisely what makes Absolution a memorable and impactful film. The themes explored in the film are timeless. Issues of faith, guilt, and the struggle between right and wrong are as relevant today as they were when the film was released. The boarding school setting, while specific, serves as a microcosm for larger societal dynamics, making the story resonate on a broader level. In terms of pacing, Absolution may feel slow for viewers accustomed to fast-paced modern films. However, this slower pace is essential to its storytelling. It allows the tension to build gradually and gives the audience time to connect with the characters. This deliberate pacing is a hallmark of many films from that era, and it contributes to the film's overall impact. The film's ending, without revealing any details, is both thought-provoking and emotionally resonant. It stays true to the film's tone and themes, avoiding any unnecessary dramatics. Instead, it leaves the audience with a sense of reflection, encouraging them to think about the events they have just witnessed. Overall, Absolution is a film that rewards patience and attention. It is not designed to entertain in a conventional sense, but rather to engage the mind and evoke a deeper emotional response. Anthony Page's direction, combined with Anthony Schaefer's screenplay and the strong performances of the cast, results in a film that is both intellectually stimulating and emotionally compelling. Richard Burton's performance alone makes the film worth watching, but it is the combination of all its elements that truly sets it apart. The careful direction, the thoughtful writing, the atmospheric cinematography, and the nuanced performances all come together to create a film that is greater than the sum of its parts. For viewers who appreciate character-driven stories and psychological drama, Absolution offers a rich and rewarding experience. It may not be a film that appeals to everyone, but for those willing to engage with its themes and pacing, it provides a deeply satisfying and memorable journey. This movie is available on YouTube free.